All right. How you guys doing this evening? This is my first time doing this. I might be a little nervous, but they asked me to do this, so I said, why not? I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I'm just gonna give it a try, and just allow me a few moments to just tell you about my journey and how I became a part of CHP. Good afternoon. My name is Lonzel Brown, and I'm honored to share my story with you today and tell you how CHP improved my life. I'm a San Francisco native, and I've lived here my whole life. Nearly my whole life, I have not been a stranger to adversity. I was a third-generation drug addict. I have been to prison. Actually, I stayed at the shelter down the street over there once upon a time. I pretty much lived a hard life. But I want to take a few moments to fast forward to 2012. I want to talk about some things that happened to me right before I, got connected with Community Housing Partnership. I was addicted to drugs. I was living on the streets. I had nearly given up on life, and I was fine with a helpless situation. But a family member passed away. He was living a good life. He was being a father to his kids. He just became a victim of the street, and I don't think he deserved to die that way. So through his tragic situation, I was determined to turn my life around and pull through my own circumstance. So I decided to go to a treatment facility. I stayed in the treatment facility for 6 months. Upon completing the treatment facility, I worked hard to find a job, and I worked hard to find housing. Actually, when I was going through all these changes, I found a place. I found Community Housing Partnership, an employment training program. The idea of working in the customer service as a front desk clerk, it sounded very exciting to me. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I could make an honest living. The staff welcomed me and was extremely supportive of me. They never turned me away despite my past. They believed in me. Then with the help of the counselors and the trainers, things started to click. They trained me on the skills to be a lobby services professional. I learned how to communicate and interact with diverse groups of people. After finishing the training program, I was hired to work with Solutions SF in July of 2013, the organization's social enterprise. I did have some barriers and challenges on the job. And one of the challenges, I thought I was going to be fired, but Chanel, who was my employment counselor, and my supervisor, Aisha Frazier, they coached me through it, and I got back on track. Then while working at Solutions SF, I got promoted. Working at Solutions SF was a life-changing and gratifying experience, as I came to believe everything was going to turn out fine. So, 14 months later, and after 2 years from my homelessness and addiction, I am now a full-time desk clerk at DISH. Regularly, when I'm on my way to work, I run into the same people that was out there when I was out there on my addiction. The people I knew before I got my job and before I got my own place to stay. And they say to me, keep it up, Lonzel, keep up the good work, way to go. They always encourage me to keep doing what I'm doing. And actually, it feels good to be a responsible person. To me, responsible people work hard for a living, they go to school, and they build something for themselves. And that's what I'm doing. By this time next year, I want to be in school, learning to do case management or drug and alcohol counseling, because I truly want a job that would allow me to help other people. And at this time, I want to thank you guys for all your support, but I especially want to thank Community Housing Partnership and all the wonderful people at Solutions SF. Thank you guys very much.
Folks haven't gotten to tour the whole space, so we're going to wrap up. But before we do, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the incredible staff of Community Housing Partnership who's been working on this project, and particularly Michael Chow, our project manager. Where's Michael? So I think Michael would tell you it is much easier to build build a building from the ground up than it was to work on this training center. So it took unique skills, and Michael really thinking outside the box. And then I also really want to thank Bridget Holian and the fund development team who put on this event today. Remind everyone, and we know many of you gave, but think of your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, businesses you may know. We got some press. Intuit is considering doing some volunteer training here at the center, because we still have a ways to go. We were fortunate that on Monday, Xantrion Technology, who's here in the house, pledged $10,000, so now our gap is closed, but we still have $15,000 to go. And those $15,000 are actually truly dedicated to the last piece of the center, which hopefully will be 22 state-of-the-art laptops. Software is being donated by Microsoft and Yammer. A charging station and some other technology needs. The center really needs to come together. So our campaign is still open. If you know folks who are interested in pledging, we will be creating a donor wall on the first column. It's going to be this sort of graphic. They describe it as like this doodle word thing. I think David Baker is helping us figure that out. So you'll be memorialized forever at the center, but we really hope collectively we can all help us close our gap and close out our capital campaign. And once again, thank you all for being with us, and those who have given, thank you so much, because you made all of this happen. Thank you.